Hi everyone. Good evening. So time check, it's 6:40. I would like to apologize for the slight delay, mga around 8 minutes because wait lang. Anyway, um thank you so much for being here. Padadamihin muna natin yung participants. So far we have 75 audience. So what we're gonna do tonight is to uh, have a rationalization on the first diagnostic exam. Could you still remember the first diagnostic exam? That was a 120 item examination. Um, Shout out to all of our students who are already enrolled. I will also be answering questions regarding the enrollment for the August 9, 2026 examination. Okay? We will start by 6:42. So that's 1 minute from now. Feel free to share this video because this is a free video, no? Because we intended, Class Tanglaw intends to share what we have to the public so that everyone or at least super dami ng papasa for the August 9, 2026 examination. Ayan, so we already have 106 viewers. Um, let's begin with a prayer, of course. So let us bow down our heads and feel the presence of God. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful evening that you have given to us. Thank you for the gift of life, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to learn tonight. As we're going to have our discussion, please send us your Holy Spirit so that we will be able to understand everything and I will be able to discuss clearly um, the topics to all of my students. Lord, without you, we are all nothing. Please forgive us in all the sins that we have committed, in words, in thoughts, and in actions. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So once again, good evening everyone. Magandang gabi, maayong gabi sa atong tanan. I am Sir JJ Blasco, a passer for the during the August 10, 2025 civil service examination. And before I was a hopeful, an examinee, and when I passed, I was adopted. I became part of Class Tanglao last season for the March 2026 examination as a one of the national lecturers, and now God has blessed me because Sir Jerome was told me that I am now part of the administration for Class Tanglao for particularly for the civil service examination. I also teach for the NAPOLCOM examination, but let's reserve that on a separate announcement for the NAPOLCOM examination. So I'm glad that you're here. So just a brief overview for the August season. Are these are the roster of lecturers for you that we prepared for you if ever mag-decide po kayo na magpa-enroll sa amin. So, yours truly, Julito Blasco. Then si Ma'am Leonalyn Tayone, one of the best when it comes to mathematics. Then si Ma'am KJ Gleo, Sir Mark Flauta, Sir Kirstan Riquiza, Sir Elvin Acuña, and si Ma'am Grace Gapos. So we will be, and of course, Sir Jerome and Sir Kirk Joe. No, I know for our students, you know Sir Jerome and Sir Kirk. We will be leading the pack for August 9, 2020, for the August 9, 2026 examination. You will be able to meet them during the official start of our classes. So this is the overview of our main schedule because a lot of you guys are asking, Sir, when mag-start ang review? Sir, kailan mag-start yung review? Well, to answer your question, the review proper, when I say review proper, it is an intensive review wherein almost every night there will be long lectures, long live and interactive lectures from the national lecturers that I presented to you a while ago. And then there will be lots of mock exams, more than 100 items, almost 200 items, and that's on a day-to-day basis with rest days, some rest days in between. Okay, but why wait for July 3 if we can start refreshing our brain cells as early as now? Okay, so what we're doing now with Class Tanglao, while waiting for the July 3 schedule, we are having a bridging activities. So we have short quizzes every day, almost every day, tinag 20 to 30 items. And then we also have diagnostic exams that are free for the public to access. But the diagnostic exams have meron silang mga deadlines. So once I say that the deadline is this one, so the form will be closed. But don't worry, after the diagnostic exam, there will be a live rationalization a week after. Okay, so that even if you were not able to take the diagnostic exam via the Google form as scheduled, you will be able to watch the rationalization. Okay, so for those who are not able to access the first diagnostic examination, you can answer now. So please get a clean sheet of paper and a ball pen. No calculators, please. Okay, so this is the overview of the schedule. And then, so ayan, so that's 35 days of intensive online review for August 9, 2026 examination up until August 7. Okay? Sir, will there be lectures for sub-professional? The answer is yes, definitely. There will be days wherein the topics will be focused for sub-professional, especially the clerical operations. Okay. Just a reminder, no, that tomorrow for those who took the March 2026 examination, the release of ratings is expected to be tomorrow. Okay, so during our time last year, it was released at 12 noon, alas 12 ng tanghali. Okay, so hopefully you are satisfied with your ratings, but if not, believe me, no, there is always a bright tomorrow to those who will persevere. Okay, so look at for the retakers, look at your ratings and genuinely assess saan kayo medyo nagkulang nung March 2026 examination so that we can help you improve, so that on August you will be able to survive your specific weaknesses. Okay, so for our students, if you want, no, if you just want, you can email me your ratings. Okay, we will treat your ratings with confidentiality. I just want to know saan kayo pwedeng mas tulungan pa para mas mag-improve pa. Okay? Sige. For a while, give me 1 second. 1 second. Then we will continue for a while. Okay. We believe in Class Tanglaw, we believe in positive reinforcement. When you say positive reinforcement, we love giving incentives to students who excel, no? So if you are the top notcher for the August 2026 civil service examination, you will be receiving 100,000 pesos. If second place, 30,000 pesos. If third place, 20,000 pesos. Exclusive for Class Tanglaw enrollees only. Okay? Sir, clarification. Kasali po ba dito yung regional top notchers? Because there are regions, no? Not always, but there are regions who nagre-release ng regional top notchers. So to clarify, this incentive is only for national top notchers. Okay, are you the next top notcher? We hope so. Okay, so through the years, Class Tanglaw is a very young review center. No, we started very very young. No, bata pa po kami. But in those years na nag-operate ang Class Tanglaw, we were able to produce, no, with the help of God, we were able to produce more than 2,100 civil service exam passers. So we are hoping and praying that kayo na po ang next na pag madagdagan itong number na to on August 2026, kasali po kayo doon sa number na yon. Okay? Just a brief recap. I shared this no on our Facebook page no on Class Tanglaw Review and Tutorial Center. This is my rating during the August 2025 examination. I took the civil service exam once only. My general rating was 95.95%. My verbal ability was 95%. Analytical is 95.56%. Numerical was 96.67%. And general information is 100%. So I will be giving the specific details on how I was able to achieve this general rating on a separate session for kanang para mas detailed yung pagkakalatag ng mga pinaggagawa ko during that time. Okay. So, before we formally proceed to our rationalization proper, here in Class Tanglaw, every short quiz, every mock exam, every diagnostic exam, we always love rewarding our students by recognizing their efforts. So, for the first free diagnostic exam, here are the top 10 students who emerged victorious during that examination. Okay, so as you can see, merong mga nag-tie. So I just love to break the tie, no? So ang basis ko lang naman, ladies and gentlemen, is kung sino yung mas naunang nag-submit. So just to break the tie, because I don't know, for some reason I do not like seeing kanang mag-tie bitaw sa ranking. So let's for confidentiality, I only presented the initials of the examinees, but for the second diagnostic exam, I already have the scores with me. I will be releasing it tomorrow. Okay, your scores will be released via email, and I am not sure if the top notchers are comfortable na i-release yung names nila, yung exact names nila on public, but if merong hindi papayag, then I will just post the initials. Same sa first diagnostic exam. So our first placer is from NCR with a rating of 97.50%. Second place is from Region 2 with 96.67%. Third place from Region 6, 93.33%. Fourth place from Region 4A, 93.33%. Fifth place from Region 6, 91.67%. Sixth place from Region 10, 90%. Seventh place from Region 2, 89.17%. Eighth place from Region 7, with 86.67%. Ninth place, he or she was not able to indicate his or her region. So nilagay ko dito no region. So 85.33%. And 10th place is from NCR, 85.33%. Some of these top-notchers are already enrolled in Class Tanglaw for the August 2026 season. So congratulations, keep it up. Now, let's proceed to the rationalization proper. If naririnig nyo po ang pusa namin, kindly, sana okay lang, no? Because she really loves to sing. So for the rationalization proper, I want you, even those no na nakapag-take ng first diagnostic exam, I want you guys to get a piece of paper and a ball pen. Do not look at your answers and the correct answers for that particular exam, because I want to know if meron ba kayong natutunan when looking at the correct answers. No, if na-retain ba sa brain cells. To those who are not able to answer, this is your time to shine. So for every number, I will read the questions twice with the choices. And then I will give you 10 to 15 seconds or 20 seconds if numerical to solve or to think or to analyze. And then you put your answers on the comment section. So this is how you're going to do it. Do not just put the letters. You include the number so that I know that we are talking about the same number. For example, for question number 1, do not just comment letter C. So you put 1 period C. So for example, number 20, your answer is letter A. Do not just put letter A. Put 20 period A. Okay? Sige, let me see the comment section first. Dami na. Sige. I am hoping for maximum participation. So wait lang, because I cannot see all the comment sections. I cannot see all your comments pala. Sige, let's go. For the general information, number one, under the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which body has the sole power to declare the existence of a state of war? Letter A, the President. Letter B, the Supreme Court. Letter C, the Senate. Letter D, the House of Representatives. Or letter E, Congress. Under the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which body has the sole power to declare the existence of a state of war? Letter A, the President. Letter B, the Supreme Court. Letter C, the Senate. Letter D, the House of Representatives. Or letter E, Congress. Go. The correct answer is letter E, Congress. The Congress, my dear students, is composed of two houses. The higher Congress is the Senate, and the lower house is the House of Representatives. So, the answer for this question is Congress as one sila. Okay? Let me see if you got it right. Yan, very good. Again po ha, if you want to answer, just put the number and the letter. My dear students, the correct answer for number one is letter E, Congress, not just the House of Representatives. Okay. Next. Wait lang, guys. Okay. Number two, according to the Article 6, Section 23 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, the Congress, by a vote of 2/3 of both houses, not just the Senate, not just the House of Representatives, but as one sila, in joint session assembled, voting separately, shall have the sole power to declare the existence of a state of war. Okay, now you know. Number two, Republic Act number 6713 is also known as the letter A, Anti-Graft and Corruption Practices Act. Letter B, Government Procurement Reform Act. Letter C, Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Letter D, Administrative Code of 1987. Or letter E, Civil Service Decree of the Philippines. Republic Act number 6713 is also known as the letter A, Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Letter B, Government Procurement Reform Act. Letter C, Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Letter D, Administrative Code of 1987. Or letter E, Civil Service Decree of the Philippines. Go. The correct answer for question number two is letter C, Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Okay. So remember, screenshot this one, write this on your note, but don't worry, this live will be recorded, no? But my tip for you guys, if you wanna enroll or if you wanna study somewhere else, or bahala kayo kung ano po yung gagawin ninyo for the August examination, my advice is for you not just to rely on pre-recorded. If kaya po ninyong mag-join ng live, then join live. Because para mas magandang mag-learn if sabay-sabay kayo together with your classmates. Okay? So remember this one. Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees is also known as RA 6713 because of general information, they can ask questions about Republic Act numbers and Republic Act names. Okay? Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act is RA number 3019. Government Procurement Reform Act is RA 9184. Administrative Code of 1987 is EO number 292. And Civil Service Decree of the Philippines is Presidential Decree number 807. Sige. Next. Question number 3. Which of the following is not a ground for impeachment under Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution? Letter A, culpable violation of the Constitution. Letter B, treason. Letter C, graft and corruption. Letter D, abuse of authority. Or letter E, betrayal of public trust. Which of the following is not a ground for impeachment under Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution? Letter A, culpable violation of the Constitution. Letter B, treason. Letter C, graft and corruption. Letter D, abuse of authority. Or letter E, betrayal of public trust. Go. The correct answer is letter D, abuse of authority. Okay, so there are specific lists sa mga punishment that are grounds for impeachment. And my dear students, wala pong iba. Yun lang po iyon. Okay? So these are the grounds for impeachment according to the 1987 Constitution. And again, my dear students, walang ibang answer. If wala dito, then mali iyon. Okay? Sige. So we have culpable violation of the Constitution, treason, bribery, graft and corruption, other high crimes, betrayal of public trust. So yung ibang mga kasalanan na wala dito are not grounds for impeachment. So there are other punishment for those people na nag-commit ng mistakes that are not part of this list. Okay? Next, number 4. The Philippines is a signatory to the Paris Agreement. What year did it enter into force for the country? Letter A, 2015. Letter B, 2016. Letter C, 2017. Or letter D, 2018. The Philippines is a signatory to the Paris Agreement. What year did it enter into force for the country? Letter A, 2015. Letter B, 2016. Letter C, 2017. Or letter D, 2018. Go. Shout out to all of my students who are already enrolled. No, I hope you're watching tonight because this will be the coverage for your next short quiz. So for those who plan to make habol no sa enrollment, you still can, and you can still access the previous short quizzes and the answers for those short quizzes. Okay? You can still access everything from the very beginning. Nagets? Sige, so you're still very, very welcome. The correct answer for question number 4 is letter C, 2017, specifically last April 22, 2017. Okay? So ang questions like this, unfortunately, hindi siya pwedeng chamba-chamba lang, because it's either you know it or you don't. So that is why it is very important to prepare early and to study early so that mas marami pa kayong mabasa. Because the negative part of starting late, like for example, you will just wing it and just decide to study 1 week before the examination, medyo magka-cram ka na talaga, hindi mo na makakover yung everything. Whereas now, since we're still 84 days away from the examination, you can still read a lot, you can still study a lot, you can still review a lot. Okay, so I hope matandaan nyo ito. Madumduman ninyo ni siya. Question number 5. According to Republic Act 9165, which government agency serves as the lead agency in the campaign against illegal drugs? Letter A, Philippine National Police. Letter B, National Bureau of Investigation. Letter C, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Letter D, Department of Justice. Or letter E, Dangerous Drug Board. Dangerous Drugs Board. According to RA 9165, which government agency serves as the lead agency in the campaign against illegal drugs? Letter A, Philippine National Police. Letter B, National Bureau of Investigation. Letter C, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. Letter D, Department of Justice. Or letter E, Dangerous Drugs Board. Go. For some reason, I cannot read your real-time comments. So I'm gonna refresh ako. But that's fine. The correct answer for number 5 is none other than PDEA, letter C, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. So, when it comes to illegal drugs, si PDEA po talaga iyan. Okay? Question number 6. The writ of amparo is a remedy available to any person whose right to blank is violated or threatened. Letter A, property. Letter B, life, liberty, and security. Letter C, suffrage. Letter D, due process. Or letter E, freedom of speech. The writ of amparo is a remedy available to any person whose right to blank is violated or threatened. Letter A, property. Letter B, life, liberty, and security. Letter C, suffrage. Letter D, due process. Or letter E, freedom of speech. Go. The correct answer for number 6 is letter B, life, liberty, and security. My dear students, no, I will call you my students, manifesting. Okay, my dear students, pag sa exam may lumabas na life, liberty, and security, LLS, no, walang iba, writ of amparo. Okay, these are the buzzwords for writ of amparo. So there are different Philippine constitutional writs. So you have to, unfortunately, I'll say unfortunately because it requires effort, no? So writ of habeas corpus produce the body or illegal detention. So it prevents you from having illegal detention. Writ of amparo pag merong life, liberty, and security. Writ of habeas data if the question pertains to rights to privacy and personal data. Writ of kalikasan for environmental protection. Writ of continuing mandamus for the continuous duty of government. Next, writ of mandamus, compel performance of duty. Next, writ of prohibition, stop excess of jurisdiction. Writ of certiorari, to correct grave abuse of discretion. Writ of execution, enforce judgment. And writ of preliminary injunction, prevent or stop an act temporarily. So, sa trend sa civil service examination, when I was reviewing, I would always encounter questions about writs. Okay? So far, ang mga question naman ni civil service to, hindi naman siya very, very complicated when it comes to writs. So sometimes they would ask for, I saw a question na which writ tackles about life, liberty, and security, so automatic writ of amparo. So it's a straightforward question that requires a straightforward answer. So if you're able to memorize this one, you still have 84 days left, no? You print this, you write this, idikit sa wall, save sa phone, then basahin nyo during your free time. Number 7. Under the Local Government Code of 1991, what is the minimum age requirement to be elected as mayor of a municipality? Letter A, 18 years old. Letter B, 21. Letter C, 23. Letter D, 25. Or letter E, 30. Under the Local Government Code of 1991, What is the minimum age requirement to be elected as mayor of a municipality? Letter A, 18. Letter B, 21. Letter C, 23. Letter D, 25. Or letter E, 30. Go. Go. You can have your snacks, ha? You can have bathroom breaks. You can have water breaks in between. Okay? And I can also have my water break later. I will just announce. Let me see your answers. Tingin. This is a tricky question. Lumabas to, I think this came out last March, no, based on the feedback. I think ang lumabas yata is yung minimum age requirement for senators. Okay, so I will teach you the answer later. 5 seconds left. The correct answer, majority got it right. It's letter B, 21. Okay? Ito. Sir, do we need to memorize this one? The answer is yes. Yeah, so my dear students, if you are watching, hopefully you're watching now. So if you're watching, good for you. Lalabas ito ang magiging coverage natin sa quiz natin bukas. Okay. So for the president, you will be allowed to run for president if you are 40 years old. No, subject to other qualifications, of course. Then vice president, 40 years old. Senator, 35 years old. Representative, also known as congressman, 25 years old. Governor, 23 years old. Vice governor, 23 years old. Sangguniang Panlalawigan member, or also known as Bukal, no, 23 years old. Mayor, Vice Mayor, SB members sa highly urbanized cities, yung mga super urban na mga cities, yung sa mga syudad talaga, 23 years old. Okay? But the question was asking for the minimum requirement. Okay? So for the Mayor, Vice Mayor, SB members for non-highly urbanized cities, yung mga, for example, here in Caraga, no, since I'm from Caraga, so in Tandag, and all of the municipalities here in Surigao del Sur, you can run for mayor, subject for other qualifications, of course, if you are at least 21 years old. Okay? You can run for barangay captain and barangay kagawad if you are 18 years old. And SK chairperson, SK kagawad, based on the new law, they can run if they are 18 to 24 years old during the time of the election. Okay? Sir, memorize good ni sir? Yes, memorize good ni siya. Lalabas yun sa bukas, ha, my dear students. Okay. Question number 8. Which environmental law mandates the segregation of solid waste? Wait lang, my dad is sleeping for a while. For a while. Give me 10 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Sige. Which environmental law mandates the segregation of solid waste at source? Letter A, RA 8749, or the Clean Air Act. Letter B, RA 9275, or the Clean Water Act. Letter C, RA 9003, or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. Letter D, RA 9729, Climate Change Act. Or letter E, RA 7586, or the NEPAS Act. Which environmental law mandates the segregation of solid waste at source? Letter A, RA 8749, or the Clean Air Act. Letter B, RA 9275, or the Clean Water Act. Letter C, RA 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. Letter D, RA 9729, or the Climate Change Act. Or letter E, RA 7586, or the NEPAS Act. Go. Hello to our 256 viewers. Ito, RAs, hindi pa to lalabas bukas sa quiz natin, my dear students. So, But lalabas to siya in the future short quizzes. Okay? You focus first on the topic that I announced earlier. So I hope you were able to catch that. The correct answer for number 8 is letter C, RA 9003, or the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. Number 9. In the Philippine flag, what does the color blue symbolize based on Executive Order number 292? Letter A, bravery and heroism. Letter B, peace, truth, and justice. Letter C, patriotism and valor. Letter D, equality and fraternity. Or letter E, nationalism and freedom. In the Philippine flag, what does the color blue symbolize based on Executive Order number 292? Letter A, bravery and heroism. Letter B, peace, truth, and justice. Letter C, patriotism and valor. Letter D, equality and fraternity. Or letter E, nationalism and freedom. Go. The correct answer is letter B. A lot of you got the correct answer. So, Ma'am, Wen Ban, correct. Crystal Ong, correct. Maria Chris, correct. Very, very active. One of my very, very active students. Sir Arj, correct. Ma'am Alma Santos, the correct answer is letter B. No, it's not letter E. But it's okay. Still have 84 days naman. Okay? So these are the Philippine flag symbols. So the color blue symbolizes peace, truth, and justice. Red, patriotism and valor. The white triangle symbolizes liberty, equality, and fraternity. The golden sun symbolizes unity, freedom, democracy, and sovereignty. And the three stars, of course, represent Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, the major island groups here in the Philippines. Okay? So for the sa araw dun sa flag, there are 8 rays. Those each ray symbolizes each province or the first 8 provinces that revolted against Spain. So they are the following, no? Sir, do I need to memorize this one? Yes, since mahaba pa naman yung time, taas pang oras. So yes, you can memorize this one because what if they will ask this general information, no? Which of the following is not part of the first 8 provinces? Oh, so kung hindi mo alam, hindi mo na memorize, how can you answer? Okay? So these are the first 8 provinces. We have Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Laguna, and Batangas. 3 seconds to absorb. Okay. Number 10. The Commission on Human Rights is a constitutional office that is, letter A, under the office of the President. Letter B, under the Department of Justice. Letter C, an independent office. Letter D, a legislative body. Or letter E, attached to the Supreme Court. The Commission on Human Rights is a constitutional office that is, letter A, under the office of the President. Letter B, under the Department of Justice. Letter C, an independent office. Letter D, a legislative body. Or letter E, attached to the Supreme Court. Go. Bayan, hindi ko makita talaga real time. I have to refresh over and over again. Again, when you comment, kindly include the number so that I know that you got the tama yung pinagsusulat niyo po dito sa comment section. I apologize no if sometimes I struggle in speaking Tagalog because this is not my first language anyway. Sige, the correct answer for number 10 is letter C, an independent office. Okay? The Commission on Human Rights is not under any agency. It is a completely independent office. So there are 3 constitutional commissions in the Philippines. Walang iba, my dear students, walang iba. There are only 3. The first is the Civil Service Commission. The next one is the COMELEC, or the Commission on Elections, and the third one is Commission on Audit, CSE, COMELEC, COA. These are the only 3 constitutional commissions in the Philippines. Okay? May lumabas na tanong before sa general information, which of the following options is not a constitutional commission in the Philippines? Okay? So walang iba, itong tatlo lang talaga. Do you have to memorize this one? Yes. Number 11. What is the term of office of the chairperson and commissioners of the Civil Service Commission under the 1987 Constitution? Letter A, 5 years without reappointment. Letter B, 6 years without reappointment. Letter C, 7 years without reappointment. Letter D, 7 years with 1 reappointment. Or letter E, 9 years without reappointment. What is the term of office of the chairperson and commissioners of the Civil Service Commission under the 1987 Constitution? Letter A, 5 years without reappointment. Letter B, 6 years without reappointment. Letter C, 7 years without reappointment. Letter D, 7 years with 1 reappointment. Or letter E, 9 years with reappointment. Go. The correct answer for number 11 is letter C, 7 years without reappointment. Okay? You remember that one because it's either you know it or you don't, my dear students. Okay? Unfortunately, kung sa Bisaya pa, dili siya madalag chamba. Okay? Hindi siya kaya na ano lang, kanang gagamitan mo ng common sense because this is a straightforward question that requires a very specific answer. Number 12. RA 10121 is the law that established the framework for disaster risk reduction and management in the Philippines. It is also known as the letter A, Climate Change Act, letter B, Disaster Risk Management Act, letter C, Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010, letter D, National Disaster Coordinating Council Act, or letter E, Emergency Response and Management Act. RA 10121 is the law that established the framework for disaster risk reduction and management in the Philippines. It is also known as the letter A, Climate Change Act, letter B, Disaster Risk Management Act, letter C, Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010, letter D, National Disaster Coordinating Council Act, or letter E, Emergency Response and Management Act. Go. So basically, the question is asking for the complete name of RA 10121. Na hinabaan niya lang yung tanong, but the main idea is just to tell them the complete name of RA 10121. The correct answer for question number 12 is letter C, the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010. Number 13. Who among the following public officials can be removed from office only by impeachment? Letter A, Cabinet Secretary. Letter B, Senator. Letter C, Supreme Court Justice. Letter D, Governor. Or letter E, Ombudsman and Deputy Ombudsman. Who among the following public officials can be removed from office only by impeachment? Letter A, Cabinet Secretary. Letter B, Senator. Letter C, Supreme Court Justice. Letter D, Governor. Or letter E, Ombudsman and Deputy Ombudsman. Go. Okay, another question regarding our program, no? Sir, are the live lectures, meron po bang mga recorded? The correct answer is yes, no? All the live lectures during the review session, will have their recorded counterpart, so that those na may mga trabaho at night na hindi makakapag-participate sa live will have the opportunity to review it kapag free na sila. So yes, meron pong recorded lahat. The correct answer for number 13 is letter C, Supreme Court Justice. These are the officials that can be removed only by impeachment. Okay, so remember PVCSO. Yan lang, PVSCO no? PVSCO. So these are the officials that are impeachable. The President, the Vice President, members of the Supreme Court, members of constitutional commissions, the CSC, COMELEC, and COA, and the Ombudsman. Letter E is wrong because dinagdagan niya kasi ng Deputy Ombudsman. No? Ang correct answer lang naman is Ombudsman. So there's no other answers but only these 5 positions. Okay? Okay. Number 14. Under RA 11032, also known as the Ease of Doing Business Act, what is the prescribed processing time for simple transactions? Letter A, 1 working day. Letter B, 3 working days. Letter C, 5 working days. Letter D, 7 working days. Or letter E, 20 working days. Under RA 11032, also known as the Ease of Doing Business Act, what is the prescribed processing time for simple transactions? Letter A, 1 working day. Letter B, 3 working days. Letter C, 5 working days. Letter D, 7 working days. Or letter E, 20 working days. Go. When we say working days, guys, Monday to Friday yan siya, except for the holidays and weekends. Okay? Holidays, weekends are called as calendar days. Okay? Calendar days yun sila. So be very careful. Kasi magkaiba po yun sila. So when you count for the working days, huwag niyo pong isama sa bilang ang... Wait lang. Wag niyo pong isali sa bilang yung Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays pag working days. But if calendar, bilangin nyo lahat. Okay? So be very careful in answering. The correct answer for number 14 is letter B, 3 working days. Okay, so under RA 11032, also known as the Ease of Doing Business Act, the prescribed processing time for simple transactions is, ito, 3 working days. Pag complex transactions naman, 7 working days. So pag highly technical transactions, 20 working days. Okay, again hindi kasama dito, no? Just a review, hindi kasama dito yung weekends and holidays. Okay? Number 15. Another, it's either you know it or you don't question. The Philippines observes National Human Rights Consciousness Week every letter A, February 14 to 20, letter B, June 12 to 18, letter C, September 21 to 27, letter D, December 4 to 10, letter E, November 25 to 30. The Philippines observes the National Human Rights Consciousness Week every letter A, February 14 to 20, letter B, June 12 to 18, letter C, September 21 to 27, letter D, December 4 to 10, or letter E, November 25 to 30. Go. Nag-dinner na po ba kayo? Hopefully nag-dinner na po kayo Sir, pag nag-enroll na po kami, anong oras po, anong oras po yung live lectures? Usually, our lectures will start at 6:30 and will end, depende sa topic, 2 to 4 hours, mga ganun. Especially if we are nearing the finish line, medyo mahaba talaga yung, medyo mahaba yung time. Okay? Because our goal really is like to give you all the necessary learning materials that you have to study in order for you to answer well sa exam proper. So ayun, the duration of our lectures is 2 to 4 hours. Okay? The correct answer for number 15 is letter D. Every December 4 to 10. No, tandaan nyo na to ha. National Human Rights Consciousness Week every December 4 to 10. Okay, here is the fun part of general information. Okay? Which article of the 1987 Constitution is titled Declaration of Principles and State Policies? Letter A, Article 1. Letter B, Article 2. Letter C, Article 3. Letter D, Article 4. Or letter E, Article 5. Which article of the 1987 Constitution is titled Declaration of Principles and State Policies? Letter A, Article 1. Letter B, Article 2. Letter C, Article 3. Letter D, Article 4. Or letter E, Article 5. Go. Hala, sir, article. Don't worry, I will help you. And I will make sure that tonight you can answer every article question. Wow. I will give you a tip, no? But answer first. I will give you 20 seconds. Again, when you put your answers, please include the number. Okay. Very good. Ang gagaling naman ng mga students namin. Oh, Crystal Ong, correct. Ma'am Maricel Tagle, correct. Nicole Nuskal, correct. Okay. Correct ba kayo? Ayan, correct. The correct answer for number 16 is letter B, Article 2. Sir, ang dami-daming articles. Yes, I know. There are 18 articles of the 1987 Philippine Constitution. Let's have a rundown. No, Article 1, we have national territory. Article 2, Declaration of Principles and State Policies. Article 3, Bill of Rights. Article 4, Citizenship. I will read this faster na lang, no? Article 5, Suffrage. Article 6, Legislative Department. Article 7, Executive Department. Article 8, Judicial Department. Article 9, Constitutional Commissions. Article 10, Local Government. Article 11, Accountability of Public Officers. Article 12, National Economy and Patrimony. Article 13, Social Justice and Human Rights. Article 14, Education, Science and Technology, Arts, Culture, and Sports. Article 15, The Family. Article 16, General Provisions. Article 17, Amendments or Revisions. And Article 18, Transitory Provisions. Sir, do I need to memorize all the titles? Yes and no. Yes, because the general information part of the civil service examination, in some seasons, they love asking 1 to 2 questions about the titles or the article number sa 1987 Philippine Constitution. And no, because you do not have to memorize this word for word. Did you know, my dear students, that you can memorize and you can answer? Okay, paano ko to sabihin? Did you know that you can memorize all the titles of the Philippine Constitution in 5 seconds? We, sir. Sige, let's try. Okay, let's sing a song, no? Okay, let's sing a song. NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. Yan, again, medyo may flat. Okay. NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. I will sing this 5 times so that mamemorize nyo yung tono. Okay. My coaches before would tell me that in order for you to memorize long lists, gumawa ka ng kanta na may weird na tono and matatandaan mo siya during the examination. And lo and behold, my dear students, I used this mnemonic. Ginawan ko ng tono at ito na yung gamit ko nung nag-exam ako last year. NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT, last 2. NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT, close your eyes, no? NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. Sir, anong ibig sabihin ng song na yan? Each letter, my dear students, corresponds to the first letter of the title per article. Okay, for example, si letter N, ano, that's the first letter for the for Article 1. Si D for Article 2, B for Article 3, and so on and so forth. Exemption, look at LANSEFGAT. Si letter F, ang complete title ni letter F, 1876, ni Article 15 is the family. Okay? So, instead of the family, just remember F for family. Okay? Again, my dear students, the significance of this song is that each letter corresponds to the specific article number. So, N, bilang kayo N, Article 1, D, Article 2, B, Article 3, C, Article 4. Okay, so si letter T is Article 18. Okay, si letter F kay 18, 17, 16, Article 15. Okay, again, NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. O, binilang ko, wala lang 5 seconds. Okay, C, tingnan natin. Okay, so NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. Ayan. Let's practice what we have learned from my song. Number 17. Accountability of public officers is the title of which article? Letter A, Article 9. Letter B, Article 10. Letter C, Article 11. Letter D, Article 12. Or letter E, Article 13. Accountability of public officers is the title of which article? Letter A, Article 9. Letter B, Article 10. Letter C, Article 11. Letter D, Article 12. Or letter E, Article 13. Go. NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. So you're right, no? So during the, since, for the first takers, no, sa civil service examination, you can actually write on the test questionnaire. Okay? So you write NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. Ganun. NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. Yes, uulit-ulitin ko talaga yan para if ever lalabas yan on August, paldo na kayo, 1 point. Okay. So my first step for you guys, no, is to look for the first letter of the title. So letter A man. So you list down NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. NDBC, yun. Ito, NDBC, SLEJC, LANSEFGAT. Di ba letter A yung first letter ng title? Hanapin nyo sa mnemonic kung saan dyan yung mga letter A. So merong dalawa. So if bibilangin nyo from letter N, from letter N, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So fast forward, if bibilangin nyo to siya, no, we have two options, Articles 11 and Article 11 and Article 17. Let's go back to the options. Again, Article 11 daw og 17 ang letter A. So we have here letter D, Article 12. And there's no Article 17. Therefore, my dear students, there's no other answer but letter C, Article 11. Okay? Very good. Nakuha ninyo. Hugat na correct answer. Patingin. I still have a lot of songs, guys. No, especially for the verbal and numerical and general information. Sige. Next. Ayan. See? Ayan. Accountability of public officers. You don't have to memorize word for word, no? Gamitin nyo lang yung song and then you're good. Okay, number 18. What is the title of Article 14 of the 1987 Constitution? Letter A, the family. Letter B, education, science and technology, arts, culture, and sports. Letter C, social justice and human rights.